Good evening. Welcome to Friday Night Film Noir. I am your host, Miss Lottie Da. This evening we will be talking about the movie Cast a Dark Shadow. It was released in 1955, directed by Lewis Gilbert, starring Dick Beaugrade, Margaret Lockwood, and Kay Walsh, to name a few. Here is the plot. A player uses his charms to marry an older woman and stages her death. But when no money comes forth, he seeks a new victim. Now here are my notes from this movie. This movie didn't go over too well in the United States, and Margaret Lockwood, who was older than most actresses of this time, had pretty much dried up in Hollywood after this film. She did not appear in any other films for 21 years. This movie is also based on the play Murder Mistaken by Janet Green. Here's my thoughts about the film. I loved the opening scene. This film is a true noir. The camera angles, the lighting, the intrigue. I couldn't stop watching. Not once did I get bored. Watching this film, I loved Margaret Lockwood in this film. Frida Jeffries, she was hilarious. Major plot twist. Loved the ending. Loved the wardrobes and the old house. Loved how it's sophisticated, dark, and deep. And it was a big success in Britain. A must-see film noir. My favorite quote from the movie comes from Frida Jeffries, who says, "We buried my poor Albert 6 months ago." Edward Blake says, "What was the matter with him?" Frida replies, "He was dead." So let's get into some more details about this film. I'm about to spoil everything. So grab you a drink, grab you a snack, because it's story time. So, married for a year, Edward, or Teddy, kills his wealthy older wife Monica after she asks her lawyer, Philip Mortimer, to change her will. He stages it to look as if she accidentally asphyxiated while drunkenly tried to light the gas fire. He thought that she intended to leave him all her money. Instead, he only inherits the mansion from a previous will, while her fortune is left in trust to her only relative, her sister Dora. She leaves a large amount of money to the elderly maid, but Edward convinces the maid that this money was in lieu of wages, getting her then to work for free. Edward will receive the main inheritance only if Dora dies. An inquest rules it an accident, but Philip, Monica's lawyer, makes it clear that he suspects Edward. When Edward asks where Dora lives, Philip tells him she's in Jamaica. Edward meets Frida, a merry widow, in a seaside hotel and woos her. He invites her to stay at the huge house which he has inherited. She becomes friendly with the maid. Edward manages to marry lower class but well-off widow Frida Jeffries, who is closer to Edward's age than Monica, but much less trusting than her predecessor, keeping tight control over her fortune. As the death of a second spouse so soon after the first would be highly suspicious, he is powerless to do anything. The new couple meet Charlotte Young, whose car has broken down. Now Charlotte is looking for a house to purchase for an equestrian school. As Edward was an estate agent before he married Monica, he shows her several properties, making Frida jealous. Edward lures Charlotte to his mansion late one night, while Frida and the servant are out. He reveals that he knows Charlotte is Dora. Then he brazenly admits to killing her sister before trying to make her leave. Very suspicious, she remains where she is. However, Frida and Emily return home unexpectedly because Emily felt unwell, and Frida escorts Charlotte to the door. After Charlotte drives away, Edward tells a horrified Frida that he killed Monica, Secure in the knowledge that a wife cannot be compelled to testify against her husband and that he expects to inherit Charlotte's money because he has tampered with the brakes on her car. He is shocked when Philip enters the room, having heard his confession, followed by his intended victim, Dora. She had returned to the house after meeting the lawyer at the estate's gate. Edward flees in his car, but the entrance is blocked by Charlotte and Philip's automobiles. With Philip in pursuit, Edward switches to another vehicle, only to realize too late that he has taken Dora's car. He loses control and drives over a cliff to his death. Such a great film noir film, and I highly recommend it. Now, you can watch this movie, Cast a Dark Shadow, on the app called Tubi, Tubi. If you have a Roku TV, you can download this app. It's under the film noir category. So that is going to do it for this evening's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm cutting it short tonight because I'm barely clinging to my voice right now. So thank you so much for watching. I'm Miss La-Di-Da, and I will see you next Friday for another episode of Film Noir. Thank you for watching.